Yeah, like let's say we're sitting here just like, look at Dion, bro. It's like that says more about. That would say more about you or me than it would say about the actual individual of Dion, right?
Right, exactly. And that's like
Dion loved you. We weren't actually saying anything about you.
Get over her. Move on with your life, Jare. Move on with your life. That'd be mine.
Good morning. My name is Natasha. This is Jared to Jared. On this week's episode, the Jareds will discuss Tony Robbins, self-pity, backwards voice, Brother Dawn, Brother Day and Brother Dusk, Elvis, and much, much more. Enjoy the show.
John Carpenter's Elvis.
Can you believe that exists?
It's like, that's the Holy Grail.
That's the Holy Grail, man. We found it. We literally found it.
We literally found the Holy Grail. The whole time it's been right under our nose. It's
right this whole time.
Elvis.
This whole time they tried hiding it from us. I don't like it.
So funny.
We got to do that. Listeners, if there's any out there who don't know us already, Elvis, John Carpenter, Rent It next episode. That's happening.
Yeah, hell yeah. What year is it? Like 1979 or something?
Yeah. Such a good year for film, 1979.
What else came out in 79? I mean, that's when the first Star Wars was coming out. That was like
first Star Wars. That was the 79, I believe. And then
Empire Strikes Back.
Exorcist came out around then.
Yeah, Exorcist was definitely like later 70s.
I did The Last Scholar, 1979 was on Easy Rider.
No, that was 69.
Or was that 69? Yeah. That was 69. That's right.
Yeah, shit got way darker by decade
79.
later. Yeah.
I think I was looking at, well, man, I don't remember what all the 70s were. Patton was a good episode.
Oh yeah, it was a good one.
So how you been, man? What's new? How was the retreat?
Yeah, retreat was good. It was actually really good. It was hard as shit, but it was really good. Because it's interesting because like there's these moments where you see your own habit patterns, right? Like your own just like shit, and then it's like, oh wait, I don't have to be like that,
Right.
So for example, like I was just feeling a lot of self-pity, right? I was like, this is so hard. I hate this. I don't know what to do with my life. Which, fair questions, whatever. It is hard, you're sleeping like 4 hours a night and shit. And then it clicked and I was just like, I just saw it. I was just like, oh, wow, I've had like a lot of self-pity throughout my life, like a lot of like, whatever, I just can't get it together, and it clicked and I saw it. And then it was just this moment of like, oh, wait, I don't have to be like that. There's other ways to be. But, it's like if you've been doing something one way for 32 years or whatever, it's you're like stuck in it. You like don't realize that it's that it's a construct essentially.
Right.
So it was an opportunity to step away from that. And then once I stepped away from that, I just felt like much freer. It was just this like, oh wait, I can make decisions from like a different place. I can
right.
Sure, I'm tired. Sure, we're working hard this week, but I don't have to be so like mopey about it. That's interesting. Oh, it's just a construct. It doesn't have to be that way. Your emotions are a construct, kind of,
Yeah, for sure.
So that was a cool insight. I think a helpful one.
No, that's good. And I do think that it's important to take your emotions into account.
Totally. Yeah, it's not to say dismiss
sometimes
them,
they're telling you something. Yeah. Not to dismiss them, but like you're saying, because I fell into this as well.
Yeah.
And, I've had past, relationships, girls tell me like, you're so negative about everything. Like, you have like so much potential and you do great things and like, you don't see it. And it's like, I've been listening a little bit Tony Robbins, me and Dion podcast. And we were listening to an episode and he's just like, listen, we're always trying to stack the bad, It's time to start stacking the good. And but he's right though. You got to start stacking what's good. Like I'm always like a bad stacker, which has kept me motivated, and like there's something good about that. But on the other spectrum, it can go too far, and then it causes anxiety, depression. Then you end up you don't do the things you want to do, and then and that's when it's a real issue and a really good that's a great sort of reflection or revelation you had there. I like that.
Yeah, totally. And just to get that space from it, where it's like, oh man, maybe I don't always have to be stacking the bad.
Right.
Oh, right. So that was good. Got that insight, like, a few moments of just like deep, deep, deep peace where it's just like, oh, like what's the issue? Like what am I so frantically trying to like figure out my life or something, and it's just like, oh, there's nothing to figure out. Like everything's okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So it was nice. And then, and then that finished up. And then it's funny because it's so like up and down, and I was asking the teacher about that. I was like, what's with that? Because there's moments during these retreats where it's just like the world opens up. I feel like peaceful and like free of my constructs or whatever, and just like can see like I'm growing as a person, wonderful stuff. And then just boom, you sink right back into like anxiety, whatever, So like I was like, what the hell is with that? And she described it as kind of like a pushback. Like whenever there's like positive change, there's always the pushback. Like even like just to describe it, think like politically or something, you get like the Obama years, everyone's all like hope and peace and we're going to do better, and then like boom, Trump era, so you get like this like push towards positive change. And then you get, an immediate pushback in a emotional, personal sense,
Right.
So maybe, I don't know. Cause I texted you the past couple of days, I kind of sunk back into just like, oh God, what am I doing? And then like today I'm like, oh, all right, maybe things are okay,
Right.
So it's like, I don't know.
Which is good.
Yeah. So it's a little overwhelming.
No, I do like that perspective because I think that is exactly what it is, and
sure.
And you don't just, okay, I'm going to stop because now it's funny that you bring this up because I kind of been thinking like the past few days and, just like a shower and around the day, like, why do I even care when I don't smoke cigarettes? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, what are you getting mad because you're not like committing suicide slowly? Like, what is the point of even like the anxiety and everything? I was just thinking now, just like, why do I even have to be? It's a choice, right? Ultimately, I mean, yeah, it's biological, but ultimately it's not though, because once the tobacco leaves your nicotine leaves your system relatively fast.
Yeah.
So really, it's just the mental thing, ultimately.
Totally.
Like, why couldn't I just, and if I did, I've been like, no drinking, whatever, past few months, it's been good, but hey, will always be like pushback. It's never like, you're never out of the woods, the woods are never ending, but you can find these sort of like safe cabins within and like really like get to the place closer to, finding the horizon, finding the like, the plane,
the happy valley. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other side of the Buffalo Storm.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and Dion were discussing. Dion brought up a good point the other day, just because he's listened to all the episodes. And he is thinking that because I was talking that me and you were talking about anxiety, like off the record, like going through shit, me sober, you like doing the retreats, kind of like hating and shit. And he had a good like philosophy that he thinks that you are like glowing when you're talking about socializing with people. Totally, and he was like, he thinks that it would be extremely healthy for you to seek out more like community social. He's like, even start up a Hinge just to conversate, literally not even to like meet up necessarily.
Sure.
Like go out with some more friends, whatever. Seek like community, seek the village is what he was saying,
Yeah.
And then I was saying that I was thinking in my head on when we were talking about Aleister Crowley and shit, you were saying that, hey, society doesn't really need a Jodorowsky or a Crowley right now,
Totally.
right? That might have kind of been a projection for yourself too. Just like,
it
I've
always
been
is.
too much like Jodorowsky. I kind of need more Katsumoto in my life, you know.
Bro, exactly. That's a really yeah. Thanks for sharing that. And like because you're right, because it is like I think anything we say when we have these, like, you know, when we're talking about something intellectually, like, you know, just what are your thoughts on this movie, even, or whatever, it's always going to be some kind of projection of our personal state,
absolutely,
where we are,
Same.
our values, what matters to us, you know. So it's like, yeah, you're totally right. I mean, yeah, being like the world doesn't need more Jodorowskis and Crowleys. It's like, what am I actually saying is my life doesn't need that. It's not about the world, you know.
No more lilies and sirens, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like no, like cut back the craziness and just sort of like family man it, whatever.
Get some structure. Yeah. Some friends, some family, some buffalo wings. He was all, even have Jared call me, man. We can shoot the shit. I'm over here cleaning, bored. We can talk about art. Fucking, I don't give a fuck.
Dude, yeah, I want to hang with Dion, bro. Miss that dude.
Yeah, man, you should. If you're ever bored or anxious, fucking just give him a call in the evenings. He's always cleaning just by himself there. So that's what I do. Dion's a counselor, man.
Yeah.
We legit got to get him on the pod for a movie. That would be really good.
Dude, let's get him on for the Elvis episode.
Yeah, we should. I was telling him about that Elvis movie this morning. Of course, he had already like seen it or something. I was like, "What the fuck? How do you know about this movie?"
So random, fucking Kurt Russell.
Oh, I had like the DVD of that, but
dude, it's gonna be better than the. Did you see the new Elvis, the one that came out like a year or two ago?
Yeah, I did.
Baz Luhrmann or some shit.
Tom Hanks sucked in that movie.
Dude, yeah, it wasn't a great movie. I mean, I liked the it was interesting, like the history of Elvis and everything, like the biography. Right. But the way it was shot, the way the story was told, like it felt like Flowers of the Killer Moon, where it was just like something's off. This isn't like
something was not hitting. Yeah.
Like the acting was like slightly off, you know.
Yeah, they should have got somebody else. The Tom Hanks character, just really with that accent, I just wasn't on board.
It was just kind of weird.
And I love Hanks. Yeah.
Like a Captain Hanks playing this dude. Like it was just
Gump, you know. Yeah. It was
whatever.
Yeah. So but that's kind of what you're saying too, is like when we're talking about you know, our deliverables, right?
Yeah.
And sort of what we were looking forward to, what we want to work towards. Even New Year's resolutions. One of yours was seeking community, though, right?
Totally,
you know,
totally, yeah.
Building more like, you know, hanging out with friends and whatever, you know, which is cool. Yeah.
Bro, and part of what like, because the other day I was like high anxiety, and part of what brought it down was like, physical contact is so important to us, you know, and like I just don't get much of it. So like, I went to this thing that was it was kind of like this, like, I don't know how to describe it. It was sort of like improvisational dance or something, you know. It was pretty funny. And like, and it actually ended up being really cool. So I go, and then, you know, it's a few other people, pretty small group, and they just like, you're dancing, but you're doing like different activities where it's like, okay, well now dance near each other and make eye contact, and then stop making eye contact, and then now, you know, dance like with the person but touch their arm or something, right? So it's all this sort of like guided by a teacher, right? And then so you're getting physical contact, which was like nice, right? But the whole idea was like that what's happening in the dance is like a microcosm for your behavior out in the world. And then through repatterning how you're interacting via this like physical somatic thing, you are going to repattern how you behave in the world, right? So like so, you know, I'm like doing this weird fucking dance with the teacher guy, right? And he goes, and he was like, God, I forgot exactly what he said, but it was essentially like, you're not fully present with it. He's like, I can feel that you're like half here in this dance, but then half wanting to leave. And he's like, and I can feel that. And he goes, that's fine. But it's like, it sends a message. And does that resonate with like other areas of your life? Or is that just in this moment? And I was like, no, that's probably every area of my life.
Right.
Half in, half out. So it was kind of cool.
I've gotten that energy from you when we
when
we're living in Albuquerque, which is fine too, like we're saying, but yeah, that's
whatever. It's not a big deal, but like,
yeah, right. I was listening to Y-Files on like reverse speech, and the CIA's like done all kinds of research into it and everything, but there's a lot of like pseudoscience that is actually kind of science, that when you can take somebody, whatever they say, and then if you record it and play it backwards, the subconscious says what they're actually saying. And it's crazy. Like politicians and stuff, like Watergate and everything, like if you play it backwards and it's just like a speech from Nixon, and then you play it backwards and all of a sudden he's like, I'm lying, Watergate, lying, Watergate, just like crazy.
What? That's
and
so
like,
fucking
but
weird.
A lot of psychologists have started using this. And I was thinking too, we should do this with Jared to Jared, because we have so much recorded audio. But psychologists have been doing this to like learn what your subconscious in your body is really saying. Like, what are you really, what's your true intention? So they record you and they ask you a lot of personal questions, just like Jared to Jared, and go backwards. And the psychologist, or whatever pseudoscientist, whatever, is trained, or CIA do, to like interpret what you're saying backwards, and freaking crazy.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Watergate. I'm lying. Watergate.
Watergate, lying.
Oh, Capitol.
I mean, of course, he kind of debunks some of it, and it's not like a proof science, but it is pretty crazy, though. Who knows,
bro? But I think the spirit of the idea is there.
Right.
Because, whether or not you record my voice backwards, I'm going to be like, Watergate, whether or not that's
right.
Whether or not that's true.
Leave the monastery, leave monastery.
Exactly. But the part that's like, your subconscious is speaking beyond your words. Like, that's true. I mean, just freaking body. You don't need to like hear a recording backwards. Just look at someone's body language, right? Where it's like, if someone's like, oh man, yeah, I really love M&Ms. I don't know, whatever. I really love M&Ms. But then they're like, kind of like glancing away, or their body sort of like shifting backwards. It's like, oh, that's a weird lie,
Yeah.
But then if someone's, and you can tell, and I'm trying to tap into this because it's like helpful to like see in yourself, and then see in others, like, oh, okay, where, what's the truth underlying the statement,
Right. Yeah.
Mostly in yourself, to learn your own truth, but
get over her, cool. Move on with your life, Jared, move on with your life. That'd be mine. But
dude, right there, even that, because like doing that weird voice is like a mask, right? And that's part of like the safety of wearing a mask, is that you can more freely express what you actually mean, right? It's like putting on a weird voice, like you don't even need the recording. You just need to put
the recording. Exactly. Yeah. Why record? The recording's stupid.
Move on.
Move on. Move on with live. Yours. Samp.
So
but yeah. Yeah, some of them are pretty crazy though. Some of them are but what was I gonna say about that? I guess too that we everything that we're saying consciously is essentially expressing what we, through various ways, like we were saying earlier, through projection. When we talk about a movie or something like that, we're constantly like throwing ourselves out, recreating our own world. It's an existential world, and we're the gods of it.
Bro, exactly. Yeah, that's the whole idea, is like, if everything is actually your projection, which it kind of is, right? I mean, yeah, again, okay, like talking about the Elvis movie, Tom Hanks kind of sucked in it, right? It's like, okay, well, that's just like your opinion, man. It's like, it says
Right.
more about you than it says about the freaking movie, right? Or like,
Right.
or you have something to say about another person, right? Let's say
Don't
we're
be
feeling
mad at Tommy,
gossipy.
man. Don't be mad at Tommy.
Yeah, like let's say we're sitting here just like, fuck a Dion, bro. You know, it's like that says more about, that would say more
Yes.
about you
Yes.
or me than it would say about the actual individual of Dion, right? You know,
Right. Right. Exactly. And that's like
Dion
what,
loved you. We weren't actually saying anything about you.
yeah, exactly. That's why we use the example as extreme.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Like,
yeah.
see, that's so fascinating. So then what the hell's beyond that? Is there something beyond that?
Right.
That's my question for you. Is there something beyond our own projections?
Well, I think we have these moments, right? And that's when we grow. To me, that's maturation, is when you have
Beautiful. Yeah.
moments and realizations that the world doesn't revolve around you, essentially, or what you projected was not the movie you're about to see,
Yeah.
and you have to watch and experience something else that you didn't plan for. And you grow and you change, and your future
Yes.
projections of what might happen, they change in accordance with experience and growth and maturity.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You break the, I mean, you literally break the mold
Right.
of your
Right.
patterns, the mold of your habits, the mold of your projections. You break that mold, and then what's there? See, and that's the weird thing. Cause I
Right.
mentioned, you know, it's like during these retreats that happens. I mean, the self pity thing, that's literally what that was. It was like a mold being broken. And then it's like, and it's weird because it's like, okay, well, if I don't approach life constantly stacking the bad, what do I do now?
Right.
Because because I've been doing that shit for 30 years, right? So it's like, what do I do now? Because now it's just open. Now it's like, oh, and it's kind of funny. It is sort of like, well, yeah, I don't know. Okay, you stop like projecting onto Tom Hanks and whatever. How do you go about viewing the shitty Elvis movie?
Right. 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 Yeah. There
Yeah,
has to be some sort of bias, right?
right. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what happens when the mold is broken? What's that leave? Just sort of emptiness, you know? Do you just like get to do something totally new? Is it just a more conscious decision or
Well, that's why I kind of wish there's like 7 They Live sequels, just because I'm kind of interested in what John Otta, and none of them involve the aliens anymore. It's just John Otta's life, like
okay.
just to see, everybody's clear, everybody has the glasses, no more aliens. Okay, what now? Do you still want to just, I don't know,
Yeah.
get that apartment and freaking, blue collar
Bro,
job? I don't know.
that's it. And that's the big question, right? Because it's like, okay, society, family, friends, whatever, all these outside influences throughout our lives. And this isn't a bad thing. This is just the nature of life. All of these influences are well, influencing us to make certain decisions and live a certain way and behave a certain way, make career decisions, whatever. If you wipe all that out, if you're able to break that mold, you know, and then like you're saying, I think that does provide room and space for like real maturation.
Right.
Yeah, you wipe that out, and then what's there? It's just like all of the outside stuff drops, and now it's just your like inner authentic compass or something like that, I guess.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know.
Um, I think it what it is finding the peace we all seek and few of us ever find. Because where you turn into Tom Christ, you're returning back
You
to
become Tom Christ.
Katsumoto's village. I
That's
think
true.
that's when
Yeah.
what we really want to do is just be human and live again and see a sunset and laugh and eat some rice and
Right on, yeah.
bing 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 bang bang, learn a different language and freaking have our wife put on our robe for us and help her with
Right.
the cooking water and freaking
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, here's a question. What's your relationship to decision making? Are you like a pretty like, I don't know, just like firm and quick decision maker? Are you like do you dither between decisions? Do you see a million options and get option paralysis? Do you see one option and feel imprisoned by it? What's your relationship to life decisions?
I have I have a rather chaotic relationship with it. In one instance, for large and major things, I have a very direct and like cut and clear pathway to my decision. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a PhD. Freaking didn't
Right.
even have a high school diploma. Got it. You know, just like
Boom.
one
Yeah.
track minded, you know,
Yeah.
crazy. But then I go to a store and I'm looking at shampoos and I'll literally be in an aisle for like 17 and a half minutes, just like, God, I gotta choose. You know,
Yeah,
so
pretty
it's kind
funny.
of
Yeah.
weird, but like in relationships too, I seem to be like very like no right away, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, just like larger things like food, I always know what I want, but
Yeah.
then like yeah, just small things, you know, like it could
Yeah.
be like clothes or I don't know, doing something. What am I gonna do on a Saturday? I don't know, stuff like that. I just can't decide.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, I'm so indecisive with like literally
Indecisive,
everything.
yeah.
Crazy, bro. And that's why I asked. Speak of projection. That's why I asked because I'm feeling indecisive lately. But like, because yeah, I get so caught up, and there's a sweetness to it too. Because I like see like multiple different paths in front of me, right? And then like there's things that I just want all of them, you know, because it's like wow, that all I don't know that life is so beautiful in so many ways. You just want
Right,
a little
right,
bit of everything, you know, or I think there's like fear and indecisiveness too. What if I make the wrong decision? You know, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm someone who gets like if we're walking down the trail, you know, we're walking through the woods in this path of life thing, and I get to the crossroads there. I'm like the dude sitting in the middle of the crossroads, just like guess I'll just hang out here for like a
like I
week because
guess
I don't
this
really
is
know
the
what to
spot.
do.
You
Yeah,
find
yeah.
the trailhead, but you don't know whether to go down it or not, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or I see multiple trailheads and
multiple
I'm like, which
trailheads, yeah.
trail's the trail, man? There's so many trails. Like
Right,
that one.
right,
See, and that's where Gandalf comes in. Like, what's the line? Like, well, that
right,
that trail smells less foul.
right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
But they
it
all
is.
kind of smell okay. I don't know. You know?
I mean, honestly, this one smells pretty good to me. So
Yeah, it's like, oh, they're all kind of nice. I don't
this is the
know.
worst smelling one. Um, yeah, you know, but I think that's the thing too. Is oftentimes we overcomplicate things with you know thinking there's too
Yeah,
many trailheads, and it is the Gandalf. You know, like we've talked about before, is even this whole conundrum with philosophy and figuring out what we do with our human psychology and our existence and everything. Honestly, it's
yeah.
pretty simple to me.
Right. Yeah.
Tom Christ, you know, returning to the village, galacticism, Jared to Jared, you know, it's I think it's pretty easy, you know. I don't know.
It's pretty simple. Just
It's
Tom
pretty
Christ, bro.
simple, man. Katsumoto freaking suck it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That movie got everything figured out. Okay, in that process, you know, we were talking about Brother Dawn, Brother Day, Brother Dusk, right?
Right, right.
You know, which to use it in Last Samurai terms, you have the first moment where he's sake, that
Right,
moment,
right.
right? And then he wakes up. Oh shit! Whoa, I'm here. I'm okay. All right, you know.
Right,
And
right.
then that becomes like I'm becoming the last samurai, okay. And then finally he just like
Right.
is the last samurai. He did it, you know.
Yes,
And now he's
yes.
returning to the village, freaking
Right.
Tom Christ, right? which which one of those is you right now? Are you Brother Dawn, Brother Day, or Brother Dusk?
I would say that I am firmly Brother Day right now.
Cool,
Firmly Brother
cool,
Day.
cool.
I can confidently say that you know, I wouldn't say like deeply into it, but I'm at least like a quarter of day, you know, into day.
Yeah, yeah.
I honestly feel like I walked away from brother I grew up rather from Brother Dawn,
Good,
you know.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. How about you, man? Are you at dusk?
I no, I'm like, bro, I'm sitting at the crossroads between all of them, you know.
Oh,
I'm
right.
no, you know what? I think I'm actually on the cusp. I think I'm like
Okay.
kind of 1 foot in brother Dawn, 1 foot in brother Day.
Right.
You
Okay.
know,
Nice.
because
I
I'm
like
definitely not like early Dawn. Like I'm
right.
not I'm not brother early Dawn
Yes, yes,
because I've
yes.
been in brother early Dawn. I know what that is, and I think I've
Right.
like there's been a big maturation process since that one.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think when I left Albuquerque, that was kind of like beginning to step away from like early brother Dawn. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
And now I'm starting to step into brother Day, and I think like in a few more months I'll be like very firm in brother Day.
Nice. I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And you'll know, right? You'll absolutely know.
yeah, yeah.
Like for some reason, I just knew, like at the end of my 35th year, that I was Brother Day. I was
Right.
basically ending all 34. I was saying goodbye to my brother Don clone because he was dying and had
Yeah.
no more years in his life.
Right.
And a new brother Don clone was born. I don't even know who he is. And now I'm Brother Day. It's pretty crazy.
Fuck yeah, yeah. You
Yeah.
look like brother Day.
Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Brother Day was the hottest one of the three actors for sure. So that's good.
Yeah. Totally nice.
No, man, I feel it. I feel it. I'm looking forward to the to your full Brother Day transition. What I'm really
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
forward to is our when we meet Brother Dusk.
See, that's interesting
Yeah.
because there's so many different tracks with these, right? Because you have the microcosm, which is like the literal day by day, right? Where it's like, what
Sure.
are you doing with your day? What's your project that day, right? And then you have like the larger, the year, the seasons, the
Right.
year. Where are you in the cycle of the year? And then where are you in the cycle of a lifetime,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because actually, quite literally, both of us, being in our 30s, I feel like that's like pretty solidly brother day if you're looking at it in terms of
Oh
like
yeah. A
chronology and age
lifespan.
and life
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brother
Absolutely.
Dusk is going to be like, and you're like the wise old man with like some grandkids and you're like sitting
Right.
on the
Right.
porch telling a story or something.
Well, think about it, man. When we're Brother Dusk, we're not going to be we're not going to care what we care about today.
Right, that's true. It's all a
Today's
dream. Yeah.
today's anxieties are going to be, a dream, like you say. It's not going to be, we're going to have other things to be concerned with. Who knows? I hope I'm concerned with playing swords out in the yard with a bunch of friends and like eating dinner with my village wife.
Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
woman loves me so much, forgives me for killing her husband. That's love.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dresses you in a silk robe as violin
Right.
music's
Right.
playing in the
Get to wear
background.
his clothes, saving money.
Get to wear his clothes. Oh man.
um. Uh.
Sake.
Saka. Because when you are Brother Dusk, then you have a whole last lifetime to live, though. I
Yeah.
think Brother Dusk won't come around until we're like 50s, 60s.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, like John McKee right now, he's Brother Dusk.
Right. Right.
Like he's like hangs out with his wife and he's retired. They like take
Right.
trips to freaking Quebec and Florence. I don't know. They just like go around and it's like he's a retired man who
Oh, my
worked for
dad,
like
Paul, he's Brother
1,000
Dusk.
years.
Yeah. He
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't he doesn't stress about the things he used to when we were kids.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
exactly. Yeah,
lot different, meets me at the gym, guys chilling, hanging out with my mom all the time. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different thing, and I think there is like a actually, you know what I like, man, freaking like the whole like okay boomer, like fucking old guys, like that's a shitty rhetoric. I actually really like hanging out with like
Right, right.
older guys because there is like just like a level of peace there where they're like not
Yes.
trying to like prove anything or like
This is
there's a
I
wisdom.
love this right now. This is a great topic.
Yeah,
Because you know what, we hate too much on the baby boomers,
we
and
do.
I'm
No,
gonna
they're
give them credit for something they never get credit for. They're really killing Brother Dusk to me.
yeah,
they're
they're doing
they're
a
a
great job.
great
Yeah,
Brother
whatever.
Dusk.
Yeah,
They're like our president. I mean, he might be like golden ager, but you know, our dads and stuff. I don't know, just a lot of boomers that I know too, like at my job and like in the gym and stuff. Like they're cool guys. Like I don't know, and girl, like they're like having a really like I did it philosophy. It's kind of like you know, I don't know, like there's a piece there, you know.
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I don't know. And look at like their generation made a ton of cool shit. I mean, like movies from the 60s and 70s or 80s, John Carpenter. I mean, there's like great films, you know. I mean, comic book era, like made some really cool stuff, you know, a lot of great writers from that generation.
Right. Artists, freaking my
they
favorite.
did a good job. I don't know.
My favorite writers and philosophers are like from the 60s and 70s, you know. It's
same here actually.
Yeah. Freaking Derrida is a boomer, you know.
Right,
so, yeah. Who would have thunk it?
Yeah. Who would have thunk it? We're into the boomers.
We're into the boomers, man. I mean, they also suck too, like Jesus in some in some respects, but that's okay. Every generation has their goods and bads, you know.
You know, like Jesus, they're like kind of cool, kind of suck.
Just kidding, Jesus.
Chill out, Jesus. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Number one fan. We love you.
Jesus, come on. Let's talk it over. Come on.
Let's talk it over, Jesus.
On behalf of the Jareds, thank you for listening. Follow, rate, and tell your friends about the show. The Jareds will be back next week, and always remember, we were not born to fear the future. We are here to shape it. Until next time.